Hey there, Crumbs here. Back my area with a bunch of random tick farms. Finally got around to making myself a chorus flower farm. Also just a little manual setup to get some additional fruit. So this setup does work pretty well. If I wanted to optimize collecting flowers faster, I'd move these one block lower. I don't think there's a good way to get more fruit. I'll take a look at a backup save I have where I was experimenting with trying to get the chorus plants to grow in a controlled manner. So my basic goal here was to farm both the flowers and the fruit at the same time. If there's a good way to do that, the standard way to collect flowers is just to have something like this. It has 2 blocks to grow, the flowers can spread out to the 4 sides. If you add a block in between, it'll just stop. A little bit higher up, flowers broke off. I tried coming up with something where if you add multiple layers, see if you can get it to grow straight. So you do sometimes get it to grow straight for a little bit, then it'll branch off. Here it grew straight up, but then it just stopped itself. Right, and the higher it goes, like the more complex it gets, it doesn't seem to really work any better. So you have this here where at least once it grew a little bit taller and then went off to the side, so you still have the flower, and you get more fruit out of it potentially. But in general, you don't seem to get as many. Whereas if you have it just go up and go to the sides, you often get 2 or 3 or sometimes even 4. But in general, this is the kind of thing that'll happen where it'll grow up a little bit straight and it'll try to grow in some odd direction, realize it can't grow there, and then it'll break and the flowers will fall off. So I wasn't able to come up with a better way of setting this up, except for this. Again, instead of 2 blocks high, it's 3 blocks high. So if we can get a chance to get some additional fruit out of it while still regularly collecting the flower head itself. And from there, I wanted to figure out how to actually plant and then harvest the flowers. Obviously, I've seen a bunch of people's designs. Well, they'll go through with an axe, and on one pass they'll plant, and another pass they'll harvest, or maybe do both at the same time. I wanted to try something interesting. Let me show it real quick. Alright, so you give it a chance to shoot the flowers. It's not really reliable, but it gets a lot of them a lot of the time. And then at the same time, it hits a double piston extender to bring the block down. And on the next one, it just pushes the block back up into place. These good enough rates for me. I think about every cycle of this, I'll end with a profit of about half a stack of flowers and a bunch of coarse fruit that I just automatically smelt. So ultimately, it's less than 4 stacks an hour. So it's not fast, and I assume some other designs are better optimized for what some people might want, but this works well for me, both for flowers and for the fruit. And as everything gets washed down from the top, is it just in a collection stream down here? The flowers get filtered out and cycled down, dropped here for the player. And when they come back around, second time they will fill up again and hit this, which unlocks this hopper and allows the flowers to get brought down into here. Oh. Alright. Yep, so the flowers get dropped over here, sent up to the player. And the coarse fruit comes down into here. And currently just collects these. I craft it up, put it in here, and yeah, I already have a decent amount. Purpur, I've already taken out some for the main storage and for another project or 2. As you can probably tell, this is another project designed and built entirely in survival. So I just needed to go through, clean this up. We'll probably hide this underground somewhere. I just added this in as a way to count how many cycles it have been. I'm not sure if this is safe against the final kind of end game boss, the wandering trader. Could potentially break it, but if it does, it's not going to be that. It's not going to be that big a deal. Might lose 1 cycle of some flowers, but that'd be it. Oh, and some arrows. I'll go through real quick and I'll actually show this in action. So this does run on about a 7.5 minute clock, so it's 8 times an hour. Again, the arrows are used to harvest the flowers on 3 sides of the stalk, then the end stone is brought down. This creates a smooth surface for the water to push everything across. Into the collection, the flowers are separated out, wait for the player. The setup is 24 blocks across, or 24 plants across. So that's 48 for half. And there are plenty of flowers that come out there for the player to pick up halfway through, and then at the end of the cycle, so you have plenty. And then the hopper is unlocked and the items are stored below. Realistically, I get enough fruit from this for me in general anyway, but in order to get more, I have a nice little setup here. So this would be to replant the whole thing. I'm just going to do one section. So for this, you just hit the button on the back, it breaks. A four wide section, they all go down. They occasionally can get stuck. I might want to bring this all back one block. They can sometimes get stuck on the next set. But they'll go down into water stream. Hit the button again. And you just run back and forth planting them. I've not yet set up a system to automatically smelt all the coarse fruit into popped coarse, but that is my intention. I'll probably add something up just on this hill over here. This does go through a lot of arrows, so I'll have to actually start collecting arrows again. At the General Mob Farm or at the Nether Fortress Farm or something. So this is, at this point, mostly spoken for, where I have all the stuff from the farms automatically brought up in shulker boxes to here. So it's the one spot left I have. And I just need to decide exactly at what stage I'm going to bring them up here. Because you can use them for end rods, but I don't use those that often. Over here, I have this thing that I built up. So this is a Dripstone farm. I wanted to make it a bit more decorative, add a bunch of different stuff in here. We have some fish. The puffer fish go all over the place. The rest of them all just school up together over here on the west side of the farm. But I got a few coral, some sea pickles, and lily pads and all that up here. I wanted to have a little bit more three-dimensionality to this part, but unfortunately you need a water source block with nothing in it above for dripstone to grow. Yeah. Anyway, here the little area where I first... Oh, that's terrible. I don't know what that is. Yeah, but where I first switched over to 117, I came here for some new features. I have a quick little mushroom block thing that I made up. But yeah, this is where I was testing to see what different things could or couldn't grow. And unfortunately, if you have anything else sitting on there at all, then nothing is going to grow under it. So I had to separate out multiple layers to be able to get these kinds of things placed down. Both like grass, coral, any of that stuff, and then half slabs, either half slab. None of that works. And I just have some basic flying machines in here. I didn't realize the smithing table could be moved. So that was an issue, so these are a little bit different than how I intended them to be. If I let it grow for too long without harvesting it, then this thing can get stuck and it'll break. So I always have to run this as long as I'm in here. but it's slow, so that's fine. So I should definitely build this one a good deal larger than it is. So I did finally add all these in as a way to automatically get everything produced sent up here. I add water columns. And I don't really think I'm going to clean this up too much down below. There's just a bunch of inputs, some shulker loaders. They'll get brought down into drop elevators, takes them all the way up to the walkway. So that all fills up the remaining sections of this area. Again, I'm going to add the smelting system here for the fruit. And after that, there's some storage I still need to clean up. I want to clean up the edges and add some sort of decorative structure. As just some kind of wall on the outside, and with fences to prevent anything from wandering in. But I'm happy with how this area turned out. And at this point, it's just finishing up the last bit and a little bit of cleanup, and this area will be complete. Alright, that's all for today. Hope you all found something interesting, and y'all take care.